What's going on is the Wolf, and we are back with another episode of the Wolf Has Spoken podcast, the universe's fastest growing podcast.
True story.
And I'm extremely excited today, right? Because now for them it's not the day, but for us, matter of fact, wait, I'm sorry, I am joined by my guy.
I mean, I am
Q
on the other couch.
Yeah, you are here today.
As always, yes.
And you made it a year.
The longest 10-day contract in the universe.
So he been getting 10-day extensions, just so y'all know. Like every week we got to do a new 10-day contract. Cause he's still like, you know what I mean? But you made it a year.
Across 12 months, yeah.
We made it a year. So this is our official 1-year anniversary day, right? So then by the time this ain't like, I guess that's kind of the 1-year anniversary episode.
Yeah, for sure. But it's a celebration.
Yeah. So this is the 1-year anniversary day. And then depending on, y'all might still be able to attend the 1-year anniversary show. So
to fully celebrate. It's a celebration all month.
All month. Like this is our month. Like this is the Wolf Has Spoken.
April, that's gonna be remembered for a long time.
You know what I mean? Because this is the start of what y'all now are seeing in development as the 1%ers and just kind of like, yeah, man, we really talked about this moment.
And it's fitting that we back home base second. As the viewers know, we got
you'll see we be around. Niggas be around. We don't know where we gonna be at, but nigga, we home.
It's fitting to be back here.
And before I get too far into a big shout out to her fantasy box. Make sure y'all go shop with them. And just so you understand, man, one of the things that we always aim to do is to bring awareness to businesses that's out there that's being America's best kept secret, right? We know that there's so many people that's talented, so many businesses that's well qualified to deliver and over deliver that should be seen more. So we wanted to open up the opportunity on our platform to bring more visibility to companies that's out there. So if you somebody that have a business or a service or a product that you want to advertise with us, make sure that you look below in the description for more details, but also just shoot us a DM or you can email us at wolfnetworkwsc, well, not at wolfnetworkwsc@gmail.com to be able to share your business on this platform, to be able to put you in front of like-minded individuals who are looking for a service that you provide, a product that you sell, or a company that you have, because we want people to know about you. So make sure y'all get with us for the details. And yeah, man, now let's get into it.
I'm gonna start. How was your week?
Nigga, how was my day?
Yeah, it's been a long day, yeah.
Oh my gosh, nigga, what day is it? In my week, nigga, my day been this week.
It might not be an anniversary no more.
No, it is, but the fact of the matter is, it's just like, nigga, like, I was supposed to be here on a red eye, nigga. I'm on a night owl. So I'll start by saying my weekend was dope, right? Because, like, considering the day, my weekend was dope. My mom and my kids flew out to me this time, and we had a nice weekend. It was good to spend time with them, have them in the house overnight, go through dad shit, remind myself of them, and, be able to, like, make TikToks and just, like, enjoy each other's company. So that was dope. And then we'll unpack my day in full. So my weekend was lit. My weekend was a good weekend. It was costly. Everything was ×4. But it was a good weekend. I was proud, and it showed me the growth and where I'm at financially, because I did everything without, like, my mom was all trying to help. I'm like, lady, put your little coin, not your little coins, but put your coins away, put your money away. Like, you cool, like, you good. And I just want to help with something, mom. I got it. So that made me feel good. And I was looking at the damage on Monday morning like, but it was worth it. So talk to me. How was your weekend? How was your week?
Real quick before I talk about that, though, I was recently reflecting on those type of thought processes, whereas, like we were talking about recently for another discussion, but, like, those good problems to have, whereas, of course, you flying your fam in, and now it's ×4. Yeah. But once upon a time, I'm sure you probably been like, damn, like, I would have. Now you can afford it, though.
Yeah, 100. So it wasn't even an option, bro.
Exactly. So, like,
let's call it a spade.
Years ago, it'd been like, you'd have been probably stressing by even imagining type shit.
My mom brought money for that. Like, she knew how it was.
I've been doing this before.
Years ago, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I mean? But no, ultimately, even years ago, I think I would have still did it, but I think that I wouldn't have been able to comfortably do it. Right. Like, I didn't wake up today, the day after, looking at my account, like, what I'm going to do. Normally, I'll do it because I always pay for everything. Right. But I guess that's the thing. Knowing, like, it didn't impact nothing. It wasn't like, oh, let me put this bill on the back burner. Let me pay this later. Let me see if I can borrow this from this person to get through the week. It was just like, all right, I spent over leverage. Right. Over leverage way more than I thought I was. But it was well worth it, man. That shit I appreciated being able to do it. And I appreciated it not being an impact when I woke up and looked at the damage. It was like, all right, cool. Let's go on to the next week.
All right, that's dope.
You know what I mean?
My week was good. I feel like I was in a recent. We spoke like a few episodes ago about my mom moving and shit like that, whatever. Recently, I got at the new plantation. We spoke about that before. 4 jobs in 1 year type shit, whatever. So that first check hit, and to your point,
I let that breathe for a second.
Okay.
4 jobs in 1 year.
I could divide. Yeah.
If they ever call me, ask me how you, I'm like, he never lied, this motherfucker. 4 jobs in 1 year, he seem unstable to me. Motherfucker is unstable. I don't know. Like, hey. Sound like me in my early 20s. 4 businesses in 1 year. But go ahead, man. I just wanted the audience to hear that. You're trying to just breeze past it.
Fair.
And this nigga is HR. So when y'all checks is late, when y'all not getting paid, when y'all hours is fucked up,
I left.
This nigga to be getting up and leaving y'all. So just so we clear on that.
To put
HR.
To retract this money a little bit, I'm so good at my job. All my old jobs are still calling me about the issue after I left, though.
Main character syndrome ass nigga.
I'm just telling
you. I'm the best you ever had. The best you ever go. Like, I'm starting to think that you leave to make them feel your absence. Because 4 times?
How bad is it? Y'all get paid.
Y'all want me to be back, huh? So y'all gonna give me that 120 I asked for.
But I say all to say about the same similar thing about having those good problems, like because I took like a week or 2 off in between gigs, and then take about 2-3 weeks to get your first check, whatever. Yeah. By the time I get that first check, I keep all my expenses
paid out 6 months in advance.
So when it was time for me to pay my shit, I was like, oh shit, I forgot I didn't pay my usual shit last, so I had to pay everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm left with this. Like, I was like,
but that's why you start talking about the over leveraging shit.
But I was like, you know what, yo? End of the day, I remember what it was like to have damn near nothing on your check left and bills to not even pay them.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I'm like, this is one of those good problems where I'm like, all right, cool. Like, my next check gonna be normal type shit, whatever. But it's like, what are we talking about? First world problems, bills is paid, no stress, and I'm happy to be able to cover everything. Versus like, shit, I got paid in full. I still can't cover everything. Like, I know what that stress is like. We all
to your point though, like just like referencing pretty problem, like you know what I mean. I always tell people like every dollar you make gonna come with a headache, right? This is why it's important to love what you do, because so many people go into things for the money, but they don't love it. So when you get accustomed to the money, the work that's attached to it makes you dread the process. So you're like, fuck, I got paid up front. I don't feel like. But when you understand that every dollar you make come with a headache, you understand that okay, this is gonna come with something on the back end, right? Every dollar you make has a tax to it. So people think of the taxes, they think of the IRS taxes that come out your check. But no, it's an energy tax, it's an emotional tax, it's a physical tax. So when you think about paying the taxes, is like you shouldn't want to accept no money from a job that you're not willing to pay taxes on. If you're not willing to have a long night or early morning, then that's not something that you should be doing. If you're not willing to work overtime, or you're not willing to take this money that you just benefited off and pay the thing that you got to take care of with it, then that means you don't want to pay the taxes. You want to enjoy the benefits of having a cell phone, but you don't want to pay your cell phone bill. You want to enjoy the benefits of having your own space, but when rent comes, you're like, fuck, I got to pay rent again. You want to enjoy the benefits of being able to go out, but when you see the bill, you feeling away about it. So it's like understanding that every dollar you make come with a headache, and every dollar you make also gonna have its tax associated with it. Love what you do. Figure out what it is that you're willing to pay the taxes on. And this also is not even limited to money. It also goes to the partner that you pick too, because every partner that you deal with is gonna be taxed in as well. So if you're not willing to pay the emotional tax and the taxes that come with them and energetically and an investment that you gotta put into getting to know somebody, whether it's in a dating space or just getting to know them developmentally through the process of becoming closer, then you need to reevaluate the person that you're sitting down with, because that's how you would know if you're in alignment with the work you do and the person you're laying down with, because the taxes don't bother you. It's a pretty problem. You're like, you know what? I actually enjoy what come with this shit. And, understanding that as a person that's out there will help you streamline your decision-making process. So, if you always drained and feeling like you over-leveraged, then you probably paying taxes on something that you don't enjoy. And maybe you should reevaluate that.
And figure out as soon as possible how to get out of that and get to what, you aligned with.
Listen, man, one thing for sure, 2 things for certain, man.
That's how you get 4 jobs in 1 year.
I'm a Sagittarius. And I'm not one of them astrological astronomy, moon, sun, rising, planet following. Now, granted, I do feel like some of it just be accurate. Right. It's kind of accurate, but I'm not one of them people that follow it. But the fact of the matter is, when they say we are free spirits and we don't mind starting over, they got us there. They got us.
So that's your thought before
go ahead.
All right, so I'm gonna jump to the top real quick, whatever. So I've actually, me and my girl was talking about something recently, and
I can't wait till you just start calling her your wife.
That's fair. That's fair.
Coming soon.
And she actually gave you a shout out. She like, no, that's one thing Wolf did say that I fuck when I agree, because she is Sash too.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, she actually, she said, and I kind of gave her the quote when you was like, which was a bar. You was like, I may double down, but I don't double back.
I'm not doubling back. I said I might double down, I might double up, but I'm never doubling back.
Boy, good.
I'm never doubling back.
And she was like, yeah, because we were just talking about situation, whatever. We were talking about like, yo, like, we about to get married, to your point about, you know, my wife. We about to get married. And I was like, yo, see how you feel about my weird TISM equation.
Mm-hmm.
We've been together going on 10 years.
Yeah.
And my thought is, we have to, worst case scenario, if we get a dime marriage in, then I feel we did our job.
Yeah, for sure.
But if it's less than a dime, I feel it's a fail.
Seriously?
I feel we kind of got to make it to a dime, so 20
y'all
total.
did 10 in a relationship?
Right. I feel it kind of got to match it. And I thought about this when I heard about, I forgot who the celebrity was, but they was together for like fucking 20 years. They got married and shit lasted for like a year or two. And I'm like, that's ass. Like,
yeah.
That's just weird.
It's like, what? You wait till we sign the contract to opt out, motherfucker? Like, you wait till the paperwork is on the wood?
Right. And she was like, nah, I think regardless, I'm just looking at it, just whatever the total time is, I ain't gonna really separate it. Girl, who knows if she really mean that? Whatever. But
let's see.
Right. But she was like, and I was like, well, I'll just say, you know, we just had a whole conversation, but she ended up laying on that point about I'm a Sash, because, you know, we don't, if it's over, if it's a dime in or a dub in, if it's over, nigga, if it's really over, it won't be the double back.
No doubling back. I'm not circling the block because, truthfully, right, I feel like I'm not even going to go in that direction right now because I don't even want it to come off in an ego sense, right? But it is the truth. But just thinking about, it's one of the things where, like, I don't leave until I know I'm done. So, like, even, like, considering the situation, like, I will fight to make things right until I have no fight left, right? Until I'm dead, because I feel like you can't fight by yourself, right? I don't want to be in the ring shadowboxing, right? A lot of people be fighting for, and women like to be pursued. They don't like to be chased. So if a woman is like pulling away, you let her go. So for me, you know, or I feel like that's one element. The other side of it is if I feel like you are putting me in a predicament where though I feel like I'm way beyond my threshold of what I can tolerate. I'm way beyond my boundary and I keep extending grace, right? Now, everybody's barometer of grace look different, like, you know, and that comes down to like, it got to be developmental grace, right? I feel like I got grace for growth. You know what I'm saying? And I said it a few episodes ago, grace is unlimited. So it's like, but my tolerance ain't. So if I get to a point where it's like, yeah, you know what? I can't really tolerate this predicament that I'm in. I don't mind leaving. And it's like, the reason being because leaving sometimes is the best option. Like, I'm not afraid to start over. I'm not afraid to go. Now, granted, I don't like the dating pool. Like, I'm not a huge fan of it, but at the same time, it's like, at the end of the day, if it comes down to my core values, my principles, what I believe in, is like, if I don't have nothing that tethers me to this person, why are we holding each other back? And I feel like so many people stay in relationships way beyond that threshold of comfortability because they're afraid to start over. They're not staying because they want to make it work. They stand because they're afraid of seeing a person with somebody else. Right. They're afraid of starting over. They're afraid of having to open up to new people and allow them to see them flaws and all. And they're afraid of letting that time that was invested go, right? They feel like, oh, it was a wasted investment. No, you live and you learn. That's literally what that means. Like, you went through that so that when you move forward from it, you can take what benefited you, take what didn't, so you know what not to, allow it to happen again. But in most cases, for me specifically, it's like, yeah, I'll walk away because I understand, like, sometimes you got to free a person from themselves, like, and that means leaving them. It's like, I don't want to hold you in this relationship thinking that you could become something that I want you to be, when in reality, you might need to take time to develop into who you need to be for you. Right. And, it won't be for me, but at least you'll be right for you.
There will be no double back.
Yeah, because there's no doubling back. But it could be for me. But now let me say this on the record, right? I've thought, like, the thing about it is, the reason I don't double back is not because I got pride, but simply because I'm not leaving until I'm done. Like, I have had to foresee it being no possible outcome that could turn this situation around. If it is, I'm going to stay. I'm just like, yo, you know what? I got to be patient because I see it. It's like a business. Like, when do you jump off the ship of your business? You don't just jump off because the ship's sinking, because maybe you could plug the holes up to stop it from sinking. You could salvage it. But if it's like, man, every time I plug a hole, you poke another one, I'm out.
Fair.
You can have the ship.
Yeah. And so to that point, a little bit like another angle of the conversation. So further, we was talking about was like, all right, so let's say we 20 years in, we be in our 40s, 20 years together. She was like, yeah, if it ain't working, then nigga, it's done. I ain't doubling back, it's done. That's sad shit. Then we was like, but if it's like 30 and we in our 50s, you might got to sit the fuck down.
We can revisit this.
Like, it ain't no exit after that point. Like, it's 30 years and we in our 50s.
Because you know how they do in the nursing home. You ain't trying to be fucking in there.
Yeah, like, so like, go to the other side of the house, go in the fucking living room. We do what we gotta do.
So do you think this how people end up in? I'm about to say, do you think this how people end up in them open ass relationships?
For sure.
Where it's like, look, just be home by 11, motherfucker.
Have some respect.
The kids need to see your ass in here when they wake up. Like I don't like fuck that. Like I don't want, and you don't come home with no babies.
Right. So we imagine yourself 30 years in, 50 plus.
I don't know. Honestly, like, you know, one of my challenges, so one of my, like, in my most recent relationship, I was like dedicated to being committed. Like, yo, I was proud of myself, even though it didn't last, you know, it was a couple years, you know what I mean? But it didn't last 10 years and all that. I was proud of myself that I committed. Like, for me, it was like, now, granted, I haven't cheated in none of my relationships since my very first one, but I also never had that level of commitment. Whereas like, nah, like, you know, I'm in a little relationship, but I'm still hanging with my friends all day. No, like this was like dedicated to the house, like literally not going out at night to make sure I'm in my crib, protecting my family and getting up every morning to make sure I'm working to do what I got to do. And even on the times where I felt disrespected or I felt shit wasn't going right, I wasn't thinking about wavering. Like I had no intentions on wavering. You know what I mean? So when I reached that point, it was like, all right, I knew for a fact, like what the conversation I had with my therapist and everything. Now, I actually worked with you for over a year. I see that you did all that you could do. So for me, that was an accomplishment. I walked away like, yo, I can commit. So it's like, all right, now, because I see how you can get to 10 years, right? Prior to, I did 6 years in my very first relationship, but it was like almost 7, but it was like a kiddie relationship. It was like, I'm in college, I'm going, like you doing little shit. So like, we probably lived together like 2 years out of that stint. You feel me? Where though this shit, there's kids involved, there's like real deal responsibilities. And I'm like, okay, when we talk about that 70, 20, 10, where 70 you just coasting, 20 is excitement, and 10 is the bullshit, I realized how to thrive in that 70. Like, yo, the fact that we can just coexist, we can get the 3-4 years off coexisting. Right. And we having our little moments of like fun experiences and shit. And then, you know, you're going to have your disagreements because everything not going to just be fucking peaches and cream when you're dealing with two different individuals. I'm like, okay, cool. I know for a fact that I'm capable. And that was good for me. That was enough for me to walk away feeling like, you know what, if nothing else, I can walk away with knowing that I can commit. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, for sure.
Side note real quick, you know, give you your credit, give your flowers on camera, on the show.
Second time, and it's on the anniversary.
And hey, there you go.
It wouldn't be the anniversary without it.
So I told you in real time when you said the sentiment about the reward system, and I was like, stop the show.
Yeah.
I was like, that boy good, and I told you, it resonated with me. Kind of like, besides me feeling like, oh, I appreciate that type of approach in situations when people are not trying to own my time or kind of come at me in a negative type way. Yeah. But I also realized myself, like, oh, you know, I could be better in that regard. So actually, you know, with the marriage approach, and I've been analyzed like, all right, how can we be on the best footing as possible, have some momentum going into it. We kind of get all the skeletons and, you know, disagreements out the door, fresh, you know, footing ahead. And one of those things was me realizing that, you know what, I could be a better leader. And years ago, my stepdad told me something. I actually said it on the show one time. So a year later, it kind of clicked where, mind you, he divorced my mom, but you know, whatever. So but one thing,
I mean, she didn't let him put his name on the deed, so like,
fair.
He paid all the bills. I think Andre, I'm with you.
He's a victim. But one thing he said one time, we was talking about some shit, whatever. He's like, yo, like, are you a man or not? Are you gonna be a man? You gonna lead? Like, then do the fuck you gotta do to get this shit done as a man, as a leader. Yeah. And at the time when he was responding to, I was kind of like, I'm not sure that's like a full context answer, my nigga. But whatever.
I need a little bit more, but I'm following.
But in totality, as I look at it now, I just realize like whenever I have certain annoyances or frustration about my girl, it ultimately, for the most part, I realized all the situations kind of started with me. I wasn't doing the right approach to get the right results from the situation. And I realized just like even something simple as like even just me communicating. So let's say again, and not many things I was necessarily wrong about, but my approach as a leader. I'm supposed to be leading us somewhere. If I'm leading us in a not a conducive manner, then it don't really matter what you do in response to how I let it.
100%.
So it might be something like if she say we speak about cooking, whatever. I'm not the person you got to cook 7 days a week. Only thing I get annoyed about if you say you're going to cook
and you don't do it.
And you don't do it. But to your point about what you order, what girl, what you piss on, what die type shit, instead of me being like, yo, like, babe, like, so why you didn't cook? Or I appreciate it when you do cook, when you do keep your word about it. Instead of being, yo, why you didn't cook? Or just having an attitude about it. And not even maybe even communicating it. Because in my mind, it's
you know what you said and you should have did it.
Right. Well, I'm thinking it's not even a big deal. And I realized all those like little passive things build up over time.
100%.
And build. I don't want to say resentment. I have a resentment too deep of a level, whatever.
But just friction.
Just unnecessary variables of friction. For sure. And I realized I had a good amount of things that once we talked it all out, and I realized a bunch of little ass bullshit. Nothing that was making me waver, but I realized it was just like clouding my mind about like, yo, none of that shit is even deep.
It'll make you irritated, and it's like it'll start to test your patience because you got a track record of doing this. But if you just clean the slate after every incident, it's no track record. And I think that's where a lot of people,
and it starts with me as the leader.
And I just seen a quote that said, forget what you did for people while remembering what they did for you. And that allows you to erase the track record of the bullshit, clean their slate, tabula rasa, give them fresh opportunities. And now as you're extending grace, it's no tab. Like, you ain't gonna sit here and count all the things you did for your daughter, how many times you spent money. I just bought you this, I just bought you this. You know, you might keep a financial overview of it because you budgeting, but ultimately you're not holding it to her when she needs something. So if people approach their partner in that way, where it's like, all right, I'm kind of cleaning your slate through every transaction. Now, that don't mean that you don't recognize the pattern and that you don't have the conversation to say like, look, you know, we're gonna water this situation. So look, I appreciate it more when you're doing things like this. You know what I mean? Or I always feel like, for me, if I gotta address a situation that can't be watered, I say it would help us if, right? Because it's like, you got to start understanding the way you use your word is going to create the outcome that you get. So instead of saying like, yo, because I used to be heavy, yo, you need to learn how to, now I'm like, yo, it will help us if you don't feel like cooking, you say like, today I'm just not in the mood, versus me just coming home and you don't say shit and there's no food on the table and I'm confused and now I'm saying something and you think I know what you thinking when you going through your little moments of not wanting to do something. I don't have I know we connected, but not in a telepathic way where it's like I got telekinesis, I just know what the fuck on your mind. So it's like, understanding, like, all right, instead of approaching like, yo, why you ain't do it? I'm like, yo, it would help us if you let me know that you're not in the mood so I can grab something to eat on my way home. So that way I could even bring you something so that we on one page at all times through all situations. So just remembering what people did for you while forgetting what you did for them allows for you to extend them that grace of being like, yo, you know what? I be irritated, but let me just remember the fact that they're still my partner because they did X, Y, and Z through all of these times. So this weighs feathers while this weighing motherfucking pounds. I'm gonna let the pounds take the lead in that, which is the good. You know what I'm saying?
And what also made me really hold my L and really put it all on me is because I love her, I know she loved me, and I know that none of these things that had me irritable over time are intentional or even that deep or serious. So that's me not communicating and letting it build up or just taking it.
You're having your moments.
Yeah, exactly. And again, I'm not wrong for the situation, but I can, possibly approach it differently to
100%.
troubleshoot it, so it maybe happen less actually. 100%, instead of being like kind of just voicing our frustration and be like, yo, why the fuck did that happen? Versus like, yo, how can we work together so it don't happen again?
Because we want people to kind of like fail forward. It's like, I don't want to be addressing the same shit you fucked up on last week. Like, where have I already, and it's so funny because they could identify this within you. Like, they want you to get it the first time they say it. Why do I gotta keep saying that? If I said it one time, you should just get it. But when it's us, it's like they're expecting an immense amount of grace, an immense amount of patience. And it's just like, all right, cool, we'll give you that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, make it progressional. Like, let it be like, all right, cool, like you fucked up over here on Monday. Tuesday, you fucked up again, and I ain't tripping, but it was a different fuck up. But you gonna act like you ain't fuck up on Monday and then fuck up again on Tuesday, and then you wonder where my frustration come from. But internally, this is where we develop better as leaders to say, you know what? I'm not going to allow how I feel to determine how I'm about to act. So yes, I can communicate, yo, you know what? I feel a way about this, but my actions ain't gonna be a lash out type shit, because when you lash out, now you in their wheelhouse. See, what men don't understand is we can never out emotion a woman. Like, no matter how angry you get, nigga, no matter how sad you get, how mad you get, that's their wheelhouse. So it benefits you better to stay in the wheelhouse of being logical. So you can feel it, like, all right, cool, this is how I feel, these are the emotions that I'm experiencing right now, but I'm not gonna allow my emotions to determine my actions. So in doing so, it's like, all right, cool, yeah, I'm frustrated, but you yelling, but I'm not about to yell. And I'm going to always bring the conversation back centered to the point, because somehow you find yourself yelling, and now you yelling about some shit that ain't got nothing to do with what the conversation was about. Why? Because she took you into her wheelhouse and ran circles around you. And she can perfectly operate in that fluctuating roller coaster of emotions while you unsettled, you motherfucking bothered, you startled, you pissed. And she just damn near smirking because she understood that she got you off kilter. No, nigga, stay steadfast, stay calm, and be like, All right, cool. You let her, okay, but this is what we're talking about. And always bring that shit back to the center. And in doing so, you'll realize that you are constantly leading the conversation where you wanted to go. Because I'm big on that. I ask myself in every conversation that's going to involve a conflict, how do I want this to end? If you ask yourself, if you can anticipate a conflict, you know you about to go home and you frustrated about something didn't happen, and you know you about to address a conflict, I approach it with the end in mind. What would I want the end to be? Do I want us to end up on two different sides of the bed, me leaving or her leaving? Do I want it to end up in a breakup? Okay, no, I kind of want her to end up understanding where I'm coming from. So that means no matter what the fuck she say, no matter what she do, I'm staying steadfast on a point that I need her to understand by the end of this conversation or at some point. But I'm never going to allow what she do to alter what I'm trying to do because I already determined what end I want. So if I don't want to argue, I'm not arguing. If I don't want to turn into a super disagreement where we having a long fight, a feud, and then there's a disconnect, I'm not going into that. And if you go into it with that in mind, you won't even let your enemy. A lot of y'all don't have no set guideline on how y'all want the conversation to go. Y'all just want to be understood. So you go into it like, how the fuck you don't understand where I'm coming from? How you don't get it? Now you allowing your emotions to cloud your judgment from the ultimate end goal that you really want. But if you know, look, I just want her to get where I'm coming from, so I'm gonna just stay on that round. And if she's not getting it, I'm not even gonna get frustrated because the end all be all is I want to be understood. I'm not trying to be yelling and fighting and cursing you the fuck out. You know what I mean?
And one last thing too, I realized because how my job is and how we deal with business, I have like a lot of human interaction with like decision making and just like understanding other people's side of the coin.
For sure. You do have perspective.
Yeah, and I realized that I naturally extend my bandwidth and even professional grace or whatever on a constant basis just throughout my day. And because in a weird way, because she's my partner in life and I'm building, I'll be kind of even subconsciously thinking like, 10 years, you should kind of know certain shit, but that doesn't change the fact that she's a whole other fucking human being. You still got to communicate. If I can give grace to all these fucking other people in my fucking life,
100%.
At least I can do is give her the ultimate grace of frustration, confusion, her just doing dumb shit sometimes, and me got to repeat some shit, but still do it in a loving, conducive manner to get the point across 100%. And mission accomplished.
And like I just said, the people that we love, friends, family, kids, spouses, they got the luxury of inconveniencing us, and we don't necessarily got to like it, but that's the perks of being in that role, right? So it's like our partners get to motherfucking call us because they did some bullshit and we gotta stop what we doing. Our kids get to call us because they, my tummy hurt, or you ate candy after I fucking told you not to do it, and you flipped off the bed after I told you not to do it 5 times. Now your head hurt. Now I gotta get the fuck up and get you an ice pack.
We ain't going to the ER.
Yeah, no, ice pack. Ice pack and Tylenol. Nigga, ginger ale. The grandma remedies. But the fact of the matter is, they have that luxury, and that's why, like, understanding, and loving the people you love is such a delicate thing because that's what I'm essentially allowing you to have. The luxury of inconveniencing me. Because if somebody in the world convinced you, I could just never talk to you again. It's just like, I don't even have to see you again. Like, you HR, you can just fire a motherfucker. Like, you coming late too many times, but your girl can come in the crib, not late every time, because that's what she might get fired. But she could just, I would suggest fire her ass. Termination. But termination. I'll put it in for you. Pause. But she could just, that was crazy. But she could just, they got the option and the ability, like my kids could burn me out all day, every day. Like literally, like, and even, my mom could burn me out like all day, every day. And it's like, because you are who you are and because of how I feel about it. Now, that don't mean don't have boundaries. Because, somebody out there gonna be like, nah, but what about if it keep happening as a pattern? If you know it keep happening as a pattern, why the fuck is you coming to us for it? You clearly got the solution. So you don't need this part of the conversation. This is for the people that understand that it's not necessarily a pattern, but shit happens. Family do family shit. Kids do kid shit. Spouses do spouse shit. Friends do friend shit. And you give them grace and you extend them the luxury of being able to inconvenience you. Why? Because you love them. Now, does that mean that you got to give them an unlimited amount? No, your tolerance level, except with your kids, is like you kind of got to punish them and chastise them in certain ways. But I mean, they're your kids. But other people, just got to have that boundary and that threshold. But yeah, man, that's the luxury in having these relationships that's close knit, where it's like, yeah, I felt like inconveniencing you today, man. Come get me from the airport.
Now,
drop your kid off. Come get me from the airport, motherfucker.
And to circle back to the Star Wars conversation, I want to also touch on the because we spoke about it before. It's a really current thing, but the idea of discipline.
Yeah, I was some flowers I was gonna give you, but I forgot them.
Okay, fair.
I left them at the store.
Convenient.
Yeah, convenient. It'll come back.
1 year for getting flowers. All right, cool.
Yeah, that was funny. That was a good plug right there.
But the idea of discipline, cause we always talk about it, and like the pretty side of discipline is like, oh yeah, no, just go to the gym or just do this and eat clean or do this. But like the true, I feel today tested it, this whole year tested it, but the idea of discipline is like through adversity.
Nigga.
And like through variables, and when you got called an
unforeseen circumstances.
Unforeseen shit gotta be all my shit gotta start happening to still stay on course, because the goal is the goal, the mission is the mission.
Yeah.
So if your discipline is built and tested for those, then that's when you know you really serious about what you got going on, 100%. And that's real discipline. Because if it's just like, again, I say all the time when we talk about the gym, or I said before about the gym, where it's like, it's normal or normalized to go to the gym. Oh no, this is my school. I got to work at this time. I work here. This is from the gym. I go there, this and that. But once you get a different job, that's over there. It's like,
do I really like the gym that much? Type shit.
And that's the discipline, though. Yeah. So I wanted to, touch on that topic, but like, it's great to talk about the year of a pie and looking at the next year ahead, but to talk about what it took to get here.
Nigga, look what it took today.
Just in one
like,
day.
just so y'all have context, right? Like, I had a flight that was flying out at 8 o'clock a.m., right? So I had to be at the airport at 6 in theory. Right. But that's not Wolf math, right? Like, everybody know Wolf time is different than everybody else's time, right?
The airport now.
I don't mind running through the airport. It's fun to me. It's adrenaline rush.
It's fun. It's crazy.
Like, I've done it for years. I run through the airport. I'm rushing to I got to maneuver my way through TSA. Like, I had to invest in Clear to streamline the process a little bit. But today,
global entry, folks.
Today, it just didn't happen like that. So, like, and this was so funny because I wanted to blame my homie. So, like, my homie was going to fly in with me. So I had to, because we got the live event coming up and he's like working production, a part of it. So I had to go grab him because we tried to Uber, but the Uber said it's 6 in the morning, no drivers available. So I had to drive 25 minutes, 20 minutes, give or take, past where I live, the opposite way. You get what I'm saying? And then drive all the way back to the airport. But somehow, some way, he applauded my driving. We got there with what I felt like would have been time to spare. And what's so funny is I could have blamed him, like, if I ain't had to get him, I would have had an extra 40 minutes. But then me and Q had to laugh about it because, like, in real time, in reality, I was planning on going to the gym this morning. So I planned to get there.
I was getting there
at the same time regardless. So I got to take into account that it wasn't him that made me late. He just stopped me from going to the gym this morning, essentially. When we got there, that motherfucker looked like, I don't know, they was doing an evacuation or something. Like
Black Friday flights.
It was Black Friday for flights or something for sure, because there was 1,000 people in there. And I walked up and I looked and I tried to finesse. I walked past everybody, tried to go through the employee line, got there, the security guard looked at us, nigga, you're not even on the right side.
I'm trying to get arrested.
I'm like, nigga, you can't walk. Like, my flight leaving in 5 minutes. One chick said everybody about to miss their flight. I was like, damn, like, because looking at the line, like, everybody is about to miss their flight. But I learned an immediate lesson because, for one, I didn't get my money back for the flight, so it costed me bread. It costed us time because we didn't get to do essentially what we planned to do. Ultimately, I made use of the time that it costed, but I immediately got better with time. Like, nigga, I was at the airport later that day, 2 hours early. Like, it wasn't even a soul in the fucking line. I sent this nigga a video. Nigga, it was just me and the TSA worker. It was nobody else. I'm in that motherfucker bright and early.
I do work here now.
Yeah, like, I fucking work here. Like, because I realized in that moment, like, yo, I can't sustain this habit of running through the airport. No matter how much I enjoy it, I don't mind it. Even I tried to have my mom and them doing it, and they was pissed. They're like, no, my mom wanted to get there 3 hours early. I'm like, all right, I'm going to just work on your schedule. Got her there or whatever. It worked for her. But for me, it was like, I don't mind because I showed you the video. Typically, it's like that. So I can get there 25 minutes before my flight leave. I'm breezing right through. I will not do that no more. I'm going to have me some snacks, or I'm going to be prepared to eat at the airport. I'm going to take me a laptop and my charge. I'm prepared to work. I'm not going because I see how much that one decision made me have to adjust so many other things. And not even just me. When it starts spilling to other people, that's not cool. Like, I respect niggas' time. Like, I inconvenienced my homie that was meeting me at the airport in the morning. Inconvenienced you because you had to back your day. Inconvenienced Ricky, who our producer, because he had to back his whole day. Inconvenienced my homie, who I thought had to come as an emergency backup plan. So it's like, I'm like, all right, I ain't going to inconvenience 5 motherfuckers.
Hell of a lesson, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to take the lesson for what it is, or whatever the case may be, and I'm going to apply it. But going back to your old concept of discipline, or whatever the case may be.
You could have been like, yeah, we ain't just gonna do it today.
Yeah, no, I still came through. I'm like, and I was trying to ask myself, another thing, the flight get delayed.
Right.
Then I get a text message that say, yo, you want a $250 voucher to just miss a flight because we overbooked now. So I'm like, do I want this $250? Am I just canceling these niggas, just grab them? I'm like, no, because at the end of the day, I was looking at it like this. The fact that how I felt about I felt like in our prior episodes, I felt like we didn't like really get into our rhythm. I was looking forward to filming.
We was talking last night.
Yeah, to be honest. Like, I wasn't to be transparent. It was like I wasn't really feeling the rhythm that we was in because I'm like, it was so much we could have really went more into, and we really didn't have the capacity to do it. And we was on a new set. Everything was different. The whole day was just about setting up and whatever. I'm like, do I really want to wait 2 weeks? Fuck that. I'm gonna wait 2 hours. Well, it was 9 hours in total, 10 hours in total, but it was like going there 2 hours early for me to wait. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah. So the discipline is showing up on the days you don't feel like doing it, because it's not about how you feel. Like I ain't never told a property manager, landlord, like, you know, I don't really feel like paying that shit today. I can't call Verizon, yo, I don't really feel like it. You can't tell your fucking boss at work, yo, I don't really feel like coming in today. Like you can't tell your client, I don't really feel like servicing you today. I'm just not in the mood. So when you take your feelings out of shit and realize that shit just got to get done. That's when discipline trumps motivation. See, because motivation is fleeting, it's fluctuating, fleets. It's like one day I'm motivated, I'm ready to go. And then there's other days where it's like, I don't even really want to do this shit. But you got to understand the compound effect of doing it anyway. You know what I mean? The compound effect. And this is a principle that you can apply to every area of your life. If it's about having difficult conversations, if it's about resolving conflicts, if it's about approaching situations, if it's about, you know, handling a task, do that shit, get it out the way, and understand that doing it is going to feel better than not doing it, because at some point it still got to get done. So when do you feel like it? Right? It's like if you didn't feel like it Monday, you probably not going to feel like it Tuesday, because your feelings is going to replicate. And that's like if you just burnt out, tired, then maybe load management might be is acceptable, it's okay. But the fact of the matter is, when we just talking about the day-to-day, discipline is really showing up on the days that you don't feel like you're doing the shit you don't feel like doing to get the outcomes that you want. So if you say you want it, do the shit.
And when I think about just, you know, again, those pretty problems or those good problems to have, like,
I know the episode will be titled.
Yeah, whether it's us traveling different sets or, you know.
And I commend y'all for that. Because y'all, it been the inconvenience, I ain't gonna say inconvenience, the adjustment has been on. Now I had to, of course, move things around and adjust on my end, but I'm still was like essentially hosting y'all.
Right. So, you know, traveling and, you know, doing multiples and certain days and batch and, you know, like it's been a lot of different moving pieces. Paying more. It's been a lot of different moving pieces. But again, anytime I ever, again, like I said, back to shit gotta get done and being duty bound, like, I'm the type of person when it's like, once it become a part of like the priority list or the duty list,
it is
like,
what it is.
I used to want to be able to be afford to do certain 100%. Things. So now that you can, what's the problem?
That's a fact, though.
Like,
that's a fact.
These are investments for whatever you're trying to get done in life, where you going to. So if it's like, I cost that, it's like we had a conversation today. I'm like, you know, again, like I can feel over leveraged by certain shit. I need.
Nigga said you need me to pay how much more?
I mean, such a whole situation. But
I'm making you a better businessman, whether you want to admit it or not, because I'm noticing you negotiating way more in conversation than you ever did, and I'm okay with it because essentially we are partners, right? So it's like, I want you to improve in these. And it's like when you teach it respectfully, your little brother some shit, and then he used it on you, and you're like, fuck, I told him that. But you gotta respect it because it's rightfully paid. Like, I taught you that to use it against other niggas. Nigga, you use it against me now. Okay, so keep me sharp, because respectfully it's like, I understand that I'm a good businessman. You know what I mean? And it's like watching you develop in the conversation of expressing your boundaries in a business way. It ain't personal. It's like, you know, I feel like I'm over leveraging now because like I am like way far out over here. And it's like, all right, you know what? Split the tab. Tried to get you for the whole number. I'm like, I tried to get you for the whole number.
I'm still a businessman.
I'm still a businessman. Like, you got to negotiate back. Like, that ain't my job to negotiate for you, nigga. Like, I presented my offer and you countered. And instead of, and that's another thing I'm working on within myself, I don't negotiate people's prices, right? Or their boundaries. Like, if somebody set their boundary, you as a kid, nigga, oh yeah, I'm going to try my luck. Like, I got it. Because it's like, you got to kind of say no. Like, I'm going to try to get more. Like, you sure you can't do 10% more? You sure you can't do 10% less? Like, now somebody like, down, but now somebody like, yo, like the price is 1,000. I just one of two things: either it's in the budget or it's not in the budget, or this is the budget. Look, I know you said you want 1,000, but we only doing 750. Do you want the 750 or not? You don't. It's not me saying, yo, come on, it's me. Like, could you? So you know, I pride myself on that now. So in our conversations, when you presented it, I'm like, he feel a little over leveraged. Let me look, because ultimately I could pay both, and I'm really just trying to not have to front the cost, considering I just had to buy another flight.
Of course.
So you know, it worked out. You know what I mean? We got the end goal. We accomplished what we were setting out to do.
And that's what we always had the common agreement of the vision of. So you know, I just think that I just want to speak to that because you know, it looks easy to 100%. Talk on the mic, you know, for an hour or so, whatever. But everything that comes around is everything that came.
All of the fucking trend. Oh my god.
For these 42 episodes.
We have this is 44.
Fair, yeah.
If it drops at 44.
All right, so you know the 40 plus episodes, it took a lot of discipline, a lot of bandwidth, a lot of game plan, a lot of vision,
course correction, a lot of meetings, bro. Even the personal development and as who we had to become
sure.
from our first conversation, how I approached it, to how we developed that rhythm and that flow. And I commend you for that, because I don't know your Right on Cue Live. Like, I don't know the history. I know what from my vantage point, but I don't know you being your own entity to combining onto this entity to partner with me, but coming into it as essentially a 10-day contract, right? Like, before I like respectfully said, all right, that's my co-host. Like, before he was just that nigga on the other couch. Like,
that we show sometimes.
Yeah, like every now and again, cut to him just so the people don't get to see me all the time. But until it becoming a thing where it's like, we not only built this platform, but we built a friendship, you know what I mean, a brotherhood, and we built a business. Because we built a business out of this. And for the people that's listening, the 1% better concept, we literally just focus on getting 1% better. You know what I mean? And I never like to I feel like by the time they see this, it'll be done. So we literally just secured them for a year. So let's give ourselves a round of applause for the fact that we secured a partnership for a year. You know what I mean? And that right there is
in a year.
In a year, for a year. And it was just like, dog, like most people don't, and for the contract that we secure, most people don't get, and it's like not even to make comparisons, it's just to kind of say like, I'm happy and I'm proud. And it's not like we like, oh, let's light up. It's like, we literally are just getting started. We got so much in store for y'all. We just started the school community, you know, for the 1%ers, whereas though we're going to be providing y'all with private exclusive information and game and framework and content, whereas though, you know, you want to come to me one-on-one and get coaching, you paying me $1,000. You join the community, you paying $14, and you get to be amongst like-minded individuals, men and women that's looking to get 1% better. And we didn't even know that. We always from the beginning, we was talking about getting 1% better, but we didn't know that it was leading us to developing a community of people that's literally writing us, telling us how they are literally getting 1% better off the information that we provide them. So
shout out to all y'all that be sending the messages.
Yeah, shout out to y'all. I'm telling you, listen, y'all testimonies is appreciated. Even if y'all think that we don't see them, when we see them, we appreciate them. I'm not gonna say we see every one, but I will send you the ones that I see and be like, yo, we speechless at this. Like, this literally is like amazing. Like, the fact that people are literally feeling the impact and allowing it to help them be better. Like, grown men, a grown-ass man just sat up here and said, yo, shout out to you. Like, I'm becoming a better leader because of the framework that you laid out when you said what you water will grow versus pissing. That's real work right there, bro. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, shout out to 1 year. We really, nigga, first of all, I gotta give you flowers because I don't make it to 1 year in this capacity without you.
Appreciate that.
You know what I mean? And like, regardless of me being me, you know, as an individual operating my purpose and, you know, through my gifts, the amount of structure that you bring through my ability to be able to create and then, like you say, scale, and you being able to have the ABCD, because I see the whole alphabet, but you're like, all right, cool, but this is the 5 steps I need to get it from A to B to C, and it made me better, you know. And it's like, yeah, I'll save the rest. But I'll say that, you know, like, I'm definitely super duper grateful that we embarked on this, because ultimately it's like, we made it work. It wasn't something that was just like, oh, this was a match. We literally had to adjust our personalities, our habits, our approaches, like so many things where it's like, oh, I usually do it this way, or I usually do it that way. Let me try to see it the opposite way. And here, so when y'all out there, if y'all trying to do something, and one thing, this is what I need to talk to people about. Stop letting titles confuse the base of what shit is. All of this shit is relationship based. Friendship, business partnership, romantic relationship. They are all relationships when it's all said and done, right? They all require the same amount of shit. Communication, trust, respect, a certain level of, honor, the highest level of honor and integrity and morale, all of these things, well, morals is a better word, you know what I mean? To keep the morale high is imperative to having a healthy dynamic, a healthy partnership dynamic. So when y'all keep thinking that a marriage operates different than a relationship, yes, when it comes to the commitment and the duty, it's a different level of commitment, because you can't just walk away. You don't realize the difference in a marriage and relationship till it come time to try to leave that motherfucker. Relationships give you the opportunity to say, you know what, it's not working. I ain't really that committed to you. I'm done. When you married, you don't have the luxury of walking away. You have to find ways to course correct. You have to find ways to keep it together. So with that gives it the highest standard, right? Marriage is the highest standard. But at the base of it, it's still a fucking relationship. So when y'all separated and think, oh, I'm gonna do this when I'm married. Or it's like you have to prepare and think with the end in mind. If you want to be married, you have to prepare yourself for marriage. Meaning, sometimes your relationship activities should mimic a marriage. Like people are, oh, I ain't about to cook for a motherfucker till I'm married. I ain't about to pay the bills till I'm married. I ain't about to move in with you till I'm married. And I ain't knocking you for that. Matter of fact, I'm lying. I am knocking you for that. Because the fact of the matter is, you want to test drive the situation before you actually own the motherfucker. You want to know what you're signing up for. And some things don't reveal themselves until you put yourself in predicaments for them to reveal themselves. So here you could be living away from a motherfucker, and y'all could be the perfect match, move in and realize that y'all won't last a day, which is how somebody could be together 20 years and get divorced in one after they tied a knot on the 20th year. And it's like, oh shit, we actually live together now. We actually have to, yeah. So when you think about relationships in total, they all one and the same. So the same thing that it took for us to have a successful partnership on this podcast, having to learn how to communicate, having to learn to trust each other, having to take each other's perspectives into consideration, having to honor and value each other's personal space and boundaries and how we communicate and all these different things, is the same framework that works in relationships that then leads you to marriages that keep marriages healthy. Flat out. So understanding that it's no title that makes the operations different. It just makes the exit plan different.
I fuck with it. And one last thing about that as well, when you think of when you spoke about the beginning, I was watching the first episode as well, like I clicked 10 minutes, and I was watching the first episode as well, and a few thoughts ran into my mind. One, I remember when we started, again, like I had the first pod, I had my original pod, I was on there 3 times, but it didn't hit me until real time when I was on his couch. I was like, oh, like, he's more talented in a different way of speaking than I am. And I never really realized until we was on the couch, whatever. And I was like, instead of me feeling threatened by or insecure, I was just like, again, that's why when you had these moments, I'm like, that nigga good. Like, I just got, like, it never really hit me until, because again, when I was in the Ryan Q Live space, it was a different form of conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
So here, when
and that's your wheelhouse, storytelling,
yeah.
smutting people. That type of dialogue, when you get in your zone, when you bitch this, we eliminated the word, we struck in front of our, it's getting better. But when you get in your pocket, I understand that that's your wheelhouse of being able to have that entertaining, captivating conversation of like breaking some shit down and still making it educational, essentially.
Right. And I realize I'm just more of like a facilitator.
A facilitator,
and you are truly an orator. So I definitely give you
Look at him coming up with titles.
Nah, I definitely give you that respective skill set and craft. Just being, know how to talk your shit for free.
And to going back to our first conversation, that's one of the things that we actually talked about. And just getting transparent for the audience, like that was one of my concerns when partner. I didn't want to have a co-host for that reason. I'm like, look, man, I kind of understand like what my goal be. Like I know how I want to approach the content as far as in like not even the content, because it's not even content, just conversations. I know how I want to approach conversations, and I don't never want somebody to feel like, if I am, because at the end of the day, we know what the end goal is, right? And we talked about that in the first conversation, and we didn't know how it would pan out. I didn't know how it would pan out, but you adjust it internally, like, because I don't know what you deal with, and I don't know what it's like to sit in your seat as you don't know what it's like to sit in my seat. But the fact that we was able to get to a year, and then we don't say like, oh, we get to a year, and just, like, we developed a framework to where though now systematically is rinse and repeat. So you know how some motherfuckers get to a milestone and then it's like they start celebrating and like, yeah, we here. And it's like, no, we still understand that we still have to get 1% better at as often as fucking possible. So, big shout out to you for that adjustment. And, I had to adjust to a lot of things as well. And, even it was more offset stuff, like just like really when it come down to having the meetings and respecting your fucking creativity. Used to being somebody that's a leader and just kind of like, all right, this is what I see, this is what I want to do, this is how we doing it. But now you like, yo, have you ever considered or did you think about? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going with Q-Way. And it's to the point where it's like, nigga, I come to you and it's like, I appreciate that most. Nigga, I consult with you. There's not too many people I consult with. I literally call you in real deal situations and consult with you. So
any time of the day.
Hey, like I respect all your boundaries, nigga. Like, give me some grace, motherfucker. 24/7. That's the luxury. That's the luxury of being friends, nigga. And call whatever. But no, you know what's even funnier though? Mainly I call him while you're at work.
Every time.
That's the fun. Like, it ain't like, so when he say any time of the day, it's not like I'm calling him at midnight and shit like that. I respect that type of shit. I call him at 10 a.m. and I know he has a full-time job and I don't give a fuck. And I make him step out of meetings to take my call.
Then he calls a job.
I mean, he HR. Who they gonna tell? Corporate nigga.
Oh,
but yeah. So that was one of the things that was an adjustment for me, and that I'm grateful for because it helped me in relationships and friendships and all that. Like, all right, like even when I was in my relationship, it was helping me because I'm like, let me see things. Because I'm never was the guy that's like, it's my way or the highway. But just being more intentional about creating space where I don't like when I feel like people not being themselves around me. Like if I got my core values in a relationship where it's like, you know, don't lie to me, don't think for me, you know, we keep everything in the house and stand on what you do. For friendship, it's the same, but it's also be yourself.
Right.
Like I don't feel like we can be friends genuinely if you're not even being who you genuinely are around me, because it's like whoever you present yourself to be, that's the friend that I'm befriending, only to know that you're not even being who you are. So being around people that's comfortable within themselves, comfortable in their skin, whereas though they can, I don't give a fuck if you got an ego, because sometimes ego is necessary, but not to where as though it's detrimental to the friendship. Like, I want you to feel like you that motherfucker, because like, that's cool. Feel like you the best at what you do. It's not a comparison. It's like you, I'm me. Right. I like being around motherfuckers that's so self-aware and so conscious of self and not self-conscious, to where though they so comfortable within themselves that they could be on what they on and be comfortable. So it's like, that's the thing that I feel like is mandatory. Like I could be around somebody all day that's comfortable with who they are, because I'm comfortable who I am. So it's like my personality don't have to be shut down. I don't have to tone it down a little bit because you're around, or you don't have to tone it down around me. Be your fucking self. And that's one of the things that I can say, like, that I could appreciate, because I'm like, I got certain people where I'm like, man, no matter what, that motherfucker is going to be who he is. And because of that, I can hang around this motherfucker all day, every day. And the other people, if I'm noticing, like, they kind of sheltering themselves, or they kind of toning it down, or they trying to boast a little bit to try to poke their chests out or feel like that, I don't want to be around that energy. I could tolerate it a little bit, because it's like, you know, friendships can still be friendships, even if, but it's like, if you're not really being your 100% self, then are we really friends, or am I friends with your representative?
Facts. And it's also can't really gauge it.
Can't gauge it.
Fuck am I talking
who are you?
Yeah, like,
who the fuck? Who is this person? Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, we'll pivot, because you know when we start talking about friendships and shit.
Double back again.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean,
your friend group, my friend group, you know, kind of looking.
I'm not saying that on camera, nigga. I got the best friend group ever.
I got the best friend group ever. So the second.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't have a conversation with niggas though. Like I seen how, like so, but people don't know. Just before we land the plane, I'm the one. Yo, for one. In episode one,
a year
ago, hold on, a year ago, I said I'm trying to speak at the wedding. Now, you're not having a wedding, so that's why I'm not speaking at the wedding.
Right.
If you was having a wedding, would I be able to touch the mic? Pause. Would I be able to speak?
Can multiple people speak at a wedding, or is it like just like the best man type?
I ain't got to be the best man.
No, I'm dreaming.
I'm thinking, I don't know, nigga. I ain't been to 20, but I think multiple people give toast out.
Multiple people, you can speak at the wedding.
All right, so I earn my right to speak. But fuck that, right? Fuck the speaking shit. I'm the person responsible for the bachelor party.
True story.
That's a higher. I did more than I wanted to do, nigga. I overachieved, nigga. I just wanted to talk. I'm the one coordinating the bachelor party. So when I say
didn't give me a choice.
Didn't give me a choice at all. I mean, how could it? No, I didn't give you a choice to have it. You could have chose anybody to coordinate it. And you went with me.
I don't know which is more bolder. Like,
yeah, the bold was like, you're having a bachelor party. You're not getting married and not having a bachelor. What fuck type of friends will we be, Ricky? Shout out to Ricky too.
Shout out to Ricky. For context, I wasn't shook at the bachelor. It was just the time restriction.
No, the time. It was like, could I get it done? Right. But I felt like it's not something that you should have to worry about when I'm a fucking event coordinator. I'm not. Let me not disrespect the real event coordinators of the world, but I've organized tons of events since I was a fucking kid, 12 years old. So I'm like, this is nothing for me. And he put me together with his friends, and the smoothness of getting. Like some of them niggas just flat out said, I'm not gonna make it.
Right.
Respect. Like my friends, let me see, let me know. And I ain't trying to smut them. But this is the reality. I'll let you know. Then niggas wanna come on the day up. Yeah. Right? This is true story though. Like real deal. These niggas like, what's the budget? Niggas telling me they budget, they paying the budget. Where you want me to send it to? Sending the money, you know what I'm saying? Shout out Ricky. Ricky was one. Had to chase him down for a little couple dollars. One time he was ducking my calls and all that, but it's no here, no there. I knew I was gonna catch up with him. Got the bread from him. But the fact of the matter is, yeah, you know, I did what I had to do to get. We here. Shit, for you. You feel me, my boy? Like, shit had to get done. You feel what I'm saying? So all in all, I say all that to say is like, it showed me. I'm like, yo, I don't know if it's like just being decisive or whatever. And I'm not. Maybe it's because of the event. Maybe it's because it's your fucking bachelor party. It's like, nigga, we ain't about to play around with that. Because that could be a thing. Because my friends don't miss a birthday party. Besides my one homie who missed all of them. But he don't party. I respect it. Like, what the fuck? But certain things are priority. So maybe it could be me gauging the priority level to some shit that's not that deep. But the seamlessness of them sending the money, saying what they have, let me know they're going to let me know if they off work and all that. If you niggas is watching, you know what I'm saying? I commend y'all niggas. I salute y'all.
All that to be said, though, shout out to my friend group. You know, because them niggas say.
I mean, I mean, shout out. I ain't gonna shout out because I'm about to be in Miami because I can't smell them. Like I was here, I'll come back. I'll let y'all know about these niggas after I hang around these niggas because I'm going through text message comments. Maybe these niggas just disciplined and motherfucking responsible. But we gonna see what type of friends he really got when I actually hang around him because I know what type of friends I got. You know what I mean? So big shout out to the homies. You know what I mean? But maybe we can go paintballing or something. Shoot y'all niggas the fuck up with the paintballs. Go bowling. We can do anything. Basketball, like you know what I mean? Because it could be a thing. Like it's gonna be a thing. You know, I know some of your names now. I would name drop, but I ain't.
Friend group versus friend group?
Yeah, of course. We're not mixing it up. You know, some type of bowling. I think bowling or basketball or football could be cool.
I'm kind of with the paintball shit too, though.
He's personal. I mean, I got a friend here right now. You know what I mean? You feel me? Like the new guy's funny. You called this nigga the new guy. That was funny. But yo, man, let's wrap it up, man. As always, man, we enjoy being able to have these conversations with y'all. Even if we don't get to hear y'all feedback, we always appreciate y'all feedback, especially when y'all tell us y'all feedback. So always be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You know what I mean? Make sure that y'all continue to get 1% better every day. And y'all already know what it is. As y'all let people know, we grow. Also, man, from this point on, within our private community, we will be, during this segment, sharing exclusive information that you watching this right now won't see, right? This episode will continue, but for you, it's going to cut off after I plug in all the tags, all of the sponsors, and everything else. And for everybody else who's a part of the community, you guys will be able to get access to exclusive information, frameworks, even more in-depth conversations about certain topics that only you will have access to. So become a 1%er by joining our community. The information is going to be on the screen right here where I'm pointing, Ricky. Be right here. And yeah, so remember, as y'all let people know we grow, because we don't just want these conversations to end with us. We want them to start with us. We want y'all to continue them. Take them to y'all coworkers. Take them to your group chat. Take them to your wife, to your husband. Take them to your kids if you got to. Whatever it has to be. Like me and Q always learn from one another. We take the framework that one of the person presents, and then we apply it to our daily lives. And you know, we actually put it into I'm zipping this up now. Fuck it, I'm gonna go droopy collar for the last little bit. Fuck it, it is what it is. We actually implement it into our lives. So we want y'all to do the same thing. And yeah, man, y'all know where to follow me at, man, at Wolf WSC. Follow the network at wolfnetwork.wsc. Follow us on the download us on the freaking audio platforms, the Wolf Has Spoken podcast. Then get us on YouTube, Wolf Network, type in the Wolf Has Spoken podcast. And then where can they find you at, Q?
I've been told as Ryan Q Live, as in the right side
on QUE Live. And make sure y'all get with Ricky B. Philly, but get with Ricky, but like we've working some shit out with Ricky right now, so his schedule about to be a little bit. Get with Ricky, yeah. Like Ricky, he on tour, he doing too much. So like get with Ricky.
Listen to this.
Yeah, matter of fact, you know what? I'm not gonna say don't get with Ricky, but just understand what I'm implying. Understand what's implied. The nigga a little too preoccupied for my liking. So with that being said, man, continue to let people know so we can continue to grow, man. Shout out to us for 1 year. Cheers to more, and let's continue to do it, brother. Grateful, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, y'all growing with us, we growing with y'all, and let's continue to do this thing, man. 1% better every day. Until next time, man. Wolf Has Spoken.
Yes, sir.